Welcome back to the Effect Show. There's chatter. It is March. March Madness is going on, but we don't talk about that on the show. No, we are ball only. Pretty much, we keep it to NFL here. But there's still chatter. But why? The offseason's so far away. NFL Combine. And let me tell you, there is just the speed trap of the NFL Combine. And it's always just like, hey, these offensive players, they can make themselves millions if they just run 40 a little bit quicker. One person in that, Green, quarterback from Arkansas. He didn't just participate. He basically broke the entire mold of what you would expect, setting all-time quarterback records, vertical jump, and then also a 4.37 40-yard dash, which is insane. And now everyone keeps calling him, well, he's about the same as Anthony Richardson, just pure raw talent. Let's stop it right there. Let's just put a pause. Let's put a pin on it. Let's circle back because Anthony Richardson, yes, there's so much raw talent there. Yes, he's a Florida Gator. Yes, I love the Gators. But look, he just wasn't that great, and he's never been that great. But sure, you get a raw talent. But here's my thing. Why not roll the dice on someone like Green? Because he just has what it takes to win some games. And you saw Arkansas, sure, there were a couple duds there. I think they got absolutely destroyed by Notre Dame a couple weeks into the season last season. But when that offense was clicking, it was clicking, and you have to give part in that due to the quarterback. Now, here are some other things, right? Who could potentially be a suitor for him? Well, Minnesota Vikings. I think that's just a suitor for almost everyone out there. I mean, we'll get to it later in the show, but we're even seeing some old favorites like Kirk Cousins and Kyler Murray being able to get into a part of that team, which, let's just be honest, if I could have a mustache like the logo for the Minnesota Vikings, I would be a happier man. Kirk Cousins era on J.J. McCarthy, he might be done. The way that they're talking about it, I think they're like, well, with Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl especially, we made a boo-boo. And now for the Steelers, Mike Tomlin's there. Just kidding, he's not. Without that, you have Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, big dum-dum. And we don't bet with him. Let's remember that. Mike McCarthy, we don't bet with him. We bet against him. The Steelers, nonetheless, still need a quarterback. This guy could be electric. I can't see him being a Steeler because, they just played too boring of football. Jeremiah Love, look, running back. We all know how good he was. It felt like Notre Dame just beat everyone by a billion and 4.36. Now let's not get all caught up into it, right? 3 potential suitors. One being the Tennessee Titans. This is the loudest. Okay, this is probably who Tennessee's going to go ahead and get. So they already had a formal meeting with him. And Tony Pollard, let's just be honest, he's aging. And Love's going to just bring some freshness to this young star-studded team. Arizona Cardinals, they're likely to move on from Kyler Murray. And, well, look, they're going to need a solid running back there. They're going to be able to potentially use Love, support one of those rookies. I mean, Love and Green, that would be a power offense. Dallas Cowboys, that's another run. Sure, you had some Turpin, some other star power on the Dallas team, but in the end of the day, you can only do what you can do, Dallas. And Javonte Williams, they signed him to a longer contract, but he's still not great. He's good. He's not great. And Jeremiah Love is going to be great. Last one is Brennan Thompson, wide receiver, Mississippi State. And now he almost broke Xavier Worthy's 40-yard dash record. He's fast. So who wants a fast quarterback? Well, the Saints might. Shuck is just going to keep hucking it up. So if he just goes downfield, all of a sudden, bang, you got him open for touchdown. On the other hand, someone who's maybe a little bit more established, Brock Purdy. Does Brock Purdy throw the deep ball? No. But with how fast he is, you have, Juwan Jennings, George Kittle, he could be the vertical threat that without Brandon Ayuk that this Niners team has been searching for. So all in all, look, there's a couple standouts in the NFL Combine, but honestly, seeing the NFL logo and just having more NFL stuff in the news after the Super Bowl is honestly more exciting than the NFL Combine. Now, personally, I've never been in the NFL Combine. I haven't tried out for myself when I played football. Now, what type of football did I play? It was flag football, Alex's lemonade stand. But nonetheless, I still didn't get invited to go out to the NFL Combine, which is sad. But here is the thing. Is it as sad as A.J. Brown potentially leaving Philadelphia? Now, let's put on a Philadelphia Eagles hat. Because make no mistake, this is just who we are, right? So Howie Roseman, he's coming to the table with just some chips in his hand, and he's ready to play a little bit. Adam Schefter reported on the Pat McAfee show that there's an uptick in trades because A.J. Brown and this free agent class is going to be good. The deadline is March 9th, so the Eagles need to decide before the legal tampering period begins to figure out what they're going to do because he could be a major cap space hit. $45 million in dead cap if they just cut him, which they're not going to. Now, what else gets me excited? Well, Mike Vrabel really wants him. While they played in Tennessee together, Drake May doesn't actually have anyone to throw the ball to. Sure, he made it to the Super Bowl, but truthfully, I don't see the Patriots making it back to the Super Bowl anytime soon. This was a fluke of a fluke of a fluke year for the Patriots to get there. They had the easiest path of all time to ever get to the Super Bowl, and we saw exactly what happened when they did get to the Super Bowl. They got absolutely destroyed. So they need some offensive firepower. They actually want to compete in a legit NFL season where hopefully Patrick Mahomes healthy, let's say week 4 on, God forbid. Josh Allen, you always know Joe Burrow is going to be firing on all cylinders. Lamar Jackson with the new coach. So it's interesting. Now, apparently, sources said number 31 pick, and then a 2027 second rounder, which I don't know, right? Because there are some secret suitors out there, right? Fowler mentioned that Baltimore and Buffalo are also lurking. I mean, look, if you're telling me I'm A.J. Brown, I can go to Vrabel, sure, I would like that. But Josh Allen throwing me passes? I mean, you without another, clear-cut wide receiver one, Josh Allen throwing me passes? I might take that. I mean, my take as an Eagles fan is I want A.J. Brown here, right? Make no mistake, I want A.J. Brown. He helped us get a championship. But I don't fully understand the situation. Does he want to leave because he's just done with the Eagles? Or does he want to leave because it's just time for him to go? Was it because of the offensive coordinator, Petula being just an absolute rascal and not being able to call, offensive play? Or was it truly because, well, he's done with Sirianni, he hates Jalen Hurts, and he wants out of Philly? That's my take. If he wants that, then get him out of here. Let's take the cap. Let's take the trades. I don't care how it gets done. Get him out. We don't need the virus on the team. We need to have Saquon running around. Now, speaking of viruses, Kyler Murray. Kirk Cousins is not a virus. Probably the opposite of a virus. But look, that's what we call 6-7 the business. It's a lot of drama here, right? Kirk Cousins knows how to whip up a contract and then not that he's not performing. Sure, maybe he hasn't performed, but then gets traded for a bigger contract. But we're going to focus on Kyler Murray at first. Sure, he's staying up to 4 a.m. playing Call of Duty potentially, but Murray's camp prefers a release over a trade. Why? Because this lets him decide his landing spot so he doesn't get messed up in the Cardinals, right? He doesn't want to be like, all right, Cardinals, you got traded to the Jets. What is Kyler Murray going to be able to do on the Jets? He's not going to be able to do anything. So where can Kyler actually go? Well, the deadline, if he's on a roster by the 3rd day of the league year, his 2027 salary, $19.5 million, becomes fully guaranteed, and the Cardinals expect to move on before this time happens. So destinations, right? There's multiple suitors that are looking this. So linking Kyler Murray to the Vikings, that could be interesting. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison actually being the by far best weapons of Kyler Murray's career. And you have Kevin O'Connell, who, let's just be honest, is the quarterback whisperer. So look, I think that could be very, very interesting. Now, Kirk Cousins. I think we always talk about Kirk Cousins, but can there be a chance that he has a resurgence, right? So here's the thing. The Falcons, Ian Cunningham, basically reported that they're going to release Kirk on March 11th, that they'd rather take the $10 million roster bonus hit than pay him the $67.9 million. If you just switch around the decimals, that's a great joke. But the Vikings' stance is that they are publicly calling this for just baseline quarterback play, right? If Kirk is willing to prove it, maybe he could return home. Maybe he can go back to the Vikings. I know this for certain. If he's fine with being a backup quarterback, he's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. How smart he is, how much he's going to be able to coach a young guy through the trials and tribulations of a quarterback in the NFL would be second to none. So, I mean, look, those are the Vikings' 2 big choices. There's also Malik Willis, right? Who's a talk of the town, the top free agent. He's just been able to perform, and everyone wants it. But what does this all mean fantasy football? Let me break it down. So, we went through some hypotheticals. If A.J. Brown goes to New England, he's going to have Drake May passing him the ball. He's going to be the high-end wide receiver 1, and by far the wide receiver 1 there. Now, if he goes to Baltimore, sure, he's going to get a lot of play. However, Lamar's style, he gets a ton of passing touchdowns, so it'd be great, but he's not too vertical, which gives me a little bit of pause. If A.J. Brown goes to the Bills, I'm drafting him in round 1, if I'm on the later side. If not, late round 2. Just to be transparent with you. Kyler Murray, if he ends up on Minnesota, he's definitely getting an uptick, but in my eyes, he's still going to be like quarterback 12. Definitely worth a draft pick, but I'm not going to be rushing for him. Kirk Cousins, I'm not touching him whatsoever. There's no need to. I don't care what team he lands up on. I'm just not going to waste one roster spot on him. Maybe if I'm playing a little bit DFS and he pops up, but outside of that, I'm not. Jeremiah Love, day one starter. He's going to go to a place where it might be similar to an Ash Genti situation. We saw Ash Genti pop. Maybe I'm not going to draft him as high. But if he goes to a team with a good offensive line, you better believe I'm getting Jeremiah Love. Taylen Green, if he goes somewhere impactful where he could be QB1, sure, I'll go ahead, maybe get him. Outside of that, if he's not being QB1, he's going to be a backup quarterback. It's not worth it. So what comes next? Well, keep an eye on George Pickens, right? There's some rumblings out of Dallas that he's going to want out if they don't extend him soon. And then all I have to say is the legal tampering period starts in 8 days. By then, A.J. Brown might already be a done deal. By the time I upload this, A.J. Brown might already be a done deal. So people, that's the update. That's what we have for NFL news, 10-minute, 12-minute recap that I got for you guys. Make sure to follow the Effect Show. We'll be getting into win season totals, more of the gambling side of things. Because as I was going through this, I'm like, the kid just wants to toss some cheddar cheese on this stuff, okay? Very simple. Very simple. Don't forget to subscribe.